Good afternoon. We're the Nahua High School of Chihuahua, and we're come to present you the topic of how playing video games that are not made for age can negatively affect the brain. For this video, different sources were consulted, such as articles, websites, and even we conduct short interviews with professionals or people with experience. This research will focus on the negative effects that these video games classified for people age can have on them. Obtaining statistics of both best-selling and most popular video games, taking into account the availability that people have for them today. During the investigation, we will take into account different points to better understand the negative effects of these video games. These points are age of people, playing time to get the effects, and played video games classified by ASRB, the company that classifies these video games.
According to Statista, there are 3.240 million players in the world, and in 2021, a systematic review revealed that between 3% and 4% of gamers worldwide were addicted to video games. And nowadays, video games are one of the main hobbies of young people. In addition to the fact that it is easy for them to have access to these type of video games, they can find them in any corner of the world. Why is it like this? Well, the video game market has been increasing more and more from 2023 to 2028. It has been defined that it will increase a total of 8.9%, speaking of trillion of dollars. And it is possible that it will continue to increase due to the technological change that the world is experiencing. However, when we review the most popular and best-selling video games during these years, among them you can find video games like Tetris, Minecraft, or some other that are not very violent games. But on the other hand, we can find games like GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption, which are popular video games, that they are being sold more and more by the market, giving children a chance to acquire them.
If these sources, no matter how liberal they are, we are not taught, we conduct a short interview with a worker of a video game center, an establishment designed for people to play video games.
Super Mario Bros. Is the all-time best-selling video game on the market under the Nintendo label. And it must be pretty good for someone to want to spend all of one night and 5 days doing nothing but trying to rescue a princess from hundreds of bad guys.
Move over, Space Invaders. We found some new games. If you are a fan, we don't have to tell you that video games are taking this country by storm, keeping thousands of kids as well as adults glued to their flashing screens. But there are some people who are worried that the games could be having a negative effect on the players. Barry Burns.
Dr. Sherry Turkle, a sociologist at MIT, says these games emphasize power, aggression, macho, and manipulation. We talked about that with two Chicago psychologists.
One of the things that makes people upset is that kids hang around and are obviously having a good time, and I think that people always get nervous when that's happening. So I think that some of the dangers are overstated. But if there's any danger in these games, it seems to me it's that breaking up of the social contacts, that's such a loner sort of activity.
Hi, we are with a worker of a place that you can rent video games. For terms of security, we can't tell the place. So the first question I want to ask you is, have you ever seen any players have any behavior of bad confrontation when they lose any game?
Sometimes.
Okay. Can you explain the situation if you can remember?
There was one time where one kid was playing Fortnite. He lost, and then he began to smash the keyboard.
Okay. And in those occasions, what is the protocol?
We approached him and we told him he can't do that. He can damage our inventory, our property.
Okay.
And he said he was okay, that he won't do it, that he won't do it again.
Okay.
And but then later again he started again and again and again until we told him that he had to leave.
Okay. So any other customer have fight with employer?
Just one time.
And can you tell us more about that time, if it's possible?
Yes. Around 2 years ago, a little girl ran into the place
Okay.
and grabbed our VR lenses. And no, she was being kind of aggressive.
Okay, with the equipment.
Yes.
Okay.
We told her that she can't touch it without permission, our permission, or without her father being around here. But then, seconds later, her father came in, and he only saw that we were yelling at her daughter.
Oh.
We weren't yelling, but he saw it that way. And then he got mad. He started yelling. He threatened us. It was a big problem.
Okay.
But I talked to him and I spoke to him. I told him the way things were actually, but he was already angry.
He just mad.
He was mad.
Okay.
And he wanted to punch one of our employees.
Okay.
But I talked him out of it, and I gave him some extra playtime for his kids.
Okay. So another question we have. So here in America, the video games have a classification of age. So in this area, you have the classifications like a kid came to this place and like 10 years old can play like GTA.
No. The classifications are the same as in the movies. That go AA, A, B, B15, and C. GTA 5, Mortal Kombat are C. If you're underage, you cannot play those games. Almost, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, it became a law in Mexico. Before that, anyone could play anything at any age. But things have changed thanks to the classification. But for example, if you have 10 years old, a kid, cousins, etc., that are 10 years old and they want to play a B15 game, they can't, because that classification on their seat are just informative, and we only tell them this game may have violence, strong language, blah blah blah. So it's up to them if they want to play.
Have you ever played video games?
Yes.
And your point of view as a player, sorry. Do you think these classifications are important?
Yes, they are.
Can you explain why, if you can?
The way I see it, if you see a game that's classification AA, you can already tell it's for little kids, because AA means comprehensible for kids under 4 years old or for all the family. So I don't like those games. Those games just can be like Mario Party, Mario Kart.
Too silly, like too
Yeah,
easy.
too silly, too easy, etc. I'm more of a Call of Duty gamer
Okay.
or Dark Souls.
More difficult games that seeks a little bit more ability.
Yes, see, yes. Those games are Call of Duty is big. That's for people. That's the recommendation for those games are for people that is 12 years old or over them. And another classification, as I already mentioned, is B15. And those are the games that I kind of like. GTA 5 is C classification because
It contains violence, pornography,
drugs,
bad language.
bad language. But for example, Call of Duty is a war game. All the games you keep killing people, but it's a game that underage people can play. The difference is the environment of the game, because like you are saying, the thematic of the game, drugs, all of it, it's more sensitive for the kids.
So thank you very much for your time.